So, them jokers. But anyway, gentlemen, are you ready to discuss? I know we just had a holiday. Hope y'all didn't eat too much. Actually, I hope you did. Hope you ate a lot. Look at Jason.
A lot. What was that?
I hope y'all ate a lot. Like
Chris put it. He got his UK accent on too. Look at that. Come on, Chris. Keep. Got some
in it.
They are gonna DM you like that is not how you do it.
Nah, he gonna laugh. Like, yo, you had beans with your food.
But you know what's
beans with my dressing
and cornflakes on the side.
Yo.
All right, so y'all seem like y'all are energized and ready for this episode. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast, where we discuss, debate, and review movies and TV shows, old and new. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz. I am joined with Chris. Chris, how are you feeling? We back.
We bite.
The high pitch. Okay. You feeling it?
Nah, we good.
Jason, how are you feeling? We see them shoulders today. So you must be ready.
I came to the party late and I seen what y'all was doing, so I was like, let me match. So I took no shirt on today.
I mean, since you got your shoulders out, you want to do the shoulder lean right quick?
Wow.
Yes. All right. So everybody, welcome to the podcast. This is episode 25. Whoa, man. 25.
Time moving. Time is moving.
That's a quarter of 100.
It is.
That's time. Look at us knowing how to count.
Look at our third grade math skills. Shout out to us.
Hey man, that's big. That's big.
It is. But for episode 25, we will be discussing Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, sir.
We had a few discussions. We had a few polls on if we should rate this film, or review, but we're gonna rate it too. Jason was always helping on we should review it. Me and Chris, we was on the fence.
We had to. This is box office wise movie of the year. We had to put this in there.
Right. No, I feel you. So for anybody who you know Jason knows those numbers, Chris. So for anybody who
Chris, this movie is taking down Avengers flicks. Like, come on, bro. You gotta see this. I'm just saying, we know it's the truth. Hopefully, Jason. Black Panther just dropped. So hopefully eventually that's gonna overtake this. But right now, Jazz, this is the one.
Jason, I haven't even finished my intro and you
my
already
bad.
riding.
I'm stepping. I'm gonna say, look. Tom is Bruce Wayne. It's Tom Cruise. Greatest two white men ever. I'm just putting it out there. Hopefully they don't come out MAGA one day. But yeah, greatest two white men ever.
Well, we already know Bruce MAGA.
I was about to say, man.
No, we don't. We don't know that. Bruce ain't never. He's
caping again. He's caping again.
Caping for the Cape Crusader. I will. I will.
Okay, yes. Jason. Okay.
You got it.
Caping for the Cape
Crusader. Anybody who has not seen this film, just go ahead and stop the pod right now, because of course we will be spoiling it. But before you turn the pod off, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, comment, follow us on our socials, and once you watch the film, come back to the pod and check us out. Right now, I do not think it is on any streaming services yet, but it's still in the theaters. So just go to the movies. This movie dropped in June of this year.
May, yeah.
In May.
Yeah, this is like
May to November is actually crazy. But hey.
I guess, yeah. Folks loved it. They love Tom Cruise.
They did.
Like one of our co-hosts. So
that's my guy.
Look how big his smile is.
Chris, if we bash this episode, Jason is gonna go insane.
I'm going crazy. I'm gonna flip this table. I'm going crazy. Everything. It ain't no more. Was it good? I'm going crazy.
All right, let's go ahead and get this energy going. Since we're not sure where this episode could go, this is your warning, because Jason is real passionate. We haven't seen this passion since Michael Myers. So,
oh my God,
that passion was for Corey. That's the crazy thing.
It was because y'all was trying to shoot down logic in a illogical movie. I was trying to go pull logic for something you didn't need. It wasn't needed there. But we have a movie. This is a movie with a better relationship that was actually fleshed out. So we off of Allison and Corey.
Better relationship with realistic events happening.
It is.
But
it is.
Jason, I'm finally finished with the intro.
Yes, I am.
So since I know that you will be giving us a deep dive on the history of Top Gun and everybody that was starred in it, and then so let me go ahead and send it your way.
Hey, yes, we're here at Top Gun Maverick. I'm really just about to get right into it. There's not too much history in the first movie.
Oh, I was expecting the
No, there's not much rundown. You have your man Pete Maverick, hothead kid. He's trying to live in his father's shoes. His father was a Top Gun graduate as well, naval pilot. He went missing. They never found him, and so he was trying to live up to his dad's, live up to what his dad was in the actual naval. So that's why he felt he had to move and maneuver the way he is. And as we open up into this movie, we get a great montage of a lot of stuff that went on in the first movie, just a lot of pictures, just pretty much a lot of fan service, just giving us everything that's going on. And at this point, Mav, he's not a fighter no more because he's aged out of being a fighter. And at this, he's doing a test pilot, so they're doing a test run. And they're trying to, in the actual test run, in order for this pilot to be accepted, he has to go at least 10 max 10 speed. So, and this made me actually think, have you guys ever went, well, probably not Mach 10, but do y'all know how fast you guys have ever been? Roller coaster. I'm thinking like roller coasters, because this is probably the only time, unless y'all out here fighting planes or something. I don't know what y'all got going on. Jazz kind of got that physique. She might be fighting planes.
First off, that do sound good. But I will say I am not sure. I love roller coasters, but I'm not sure exactly like the speed and everything. So,
what about you, Chris?
No, I'm not sure the speed of anything.
I went Mach 5. It's in Disney World, the Aerosmith ride. Whenever it goes 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds, and they're supposedly Mach 5. But then when you get in there, you just feel the pressure on your actual chest as you're actually trying to get onto it.
Why do you remember that?
Why do I know what part?
No, why did you remember what the speed was?
I'm going crazy today, Jazz. This is probably the most extensive research I went. So you're going to see me fan out in this movie.
Okay.
Don't worry. Just stay with me, Jazz. Stay with me.
Why you do that research for Black Panther and Woman King?
I did actually. I did for Woman King. Go back last week. Go listen to it again. You can go back to it. So in this movie, of course, Tom Cruise, everything, well, typically is practical whenever it comes to Tom Cruise. What did y'all think about this scene? The boss done pulled up to the job, to shut the program down. Jazz, we see your guy, the cop from Southside. How did you feel? What did you think about that, seeing him in the movie?
So it's funny because when I looked at him, I was like, I know him from somewhere, but I couldn't place it. So what you saying, Southside, I'm just like, damn, that is him.
Oh, you just not getting it?
Like, yeah, I knew when I watched it, I was just like, I know him from somewhere, and I know it from a positive show or one that I of course enjoyed, because when you put me on Southside, love Southside season 3 should be coming soon, right?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's coming.
I thought they renewed.
It got renewed. It got renewed. Okay. We don't know when they're going to drop it though. Okay. It got renewed.
But I thought this scene was funny because you have that you have Ed Harris coming in.
Yes.
And he's
come on, Jazz. Shout out to these legends. Come on.
I know
look at
Chris.
Chris.
I know Ed Harris.
Chris, get it together.
No, I know Ed Harris. I know Ed.
But just seeing him come in and him not flinch when the aircraft just went past him, you can see all the sand and the gust of wind just go past him. He didn't even flinch.
Wow.
And I was just like, all right, Ed Harris. Like, I know you dealt with radio a few times, but come on now, like you gotta flinch. And then like you can see the dirt on his glasses, which I think is a really dope detail to include in a film, because that's something a lot of people wouldn't even pay attention to. But when I watched it, I said, "Oh, I like that effect." I love the small details.
The effects.
And then
you like the effects.
The effects was in this movie was really good. I definitely
that wasn't an effect, Jazz.
It was practical.
That was real. Tom flew over him and broke that entire set. So when you look at that scene, Tom destroyed that set.
Well, I can see why Ed Harris was just sitting there like, well, we're not redoing this shot.
It was a one shot the director said, "Nah, that was perfect, and we're not doing it again because he destroyed it. So we're gonna keep it."
I mean, it was definitely a good shot. And then I was gonna ask y'all if y'all were in Maverick shoes, would y'all have said, "All right, I'm just gonna go home," or would y'all have done the same thing? Would you have flown just to see if you can get to that mark?
It's
Maverick.
like, yeah, being Maverick, you know, that seemed like his personality. Like he just gotta push the limit. He just gotta go and go.
Chris,
I
if
would have went
that
home.
were
No,
you,
no, I'm getting there. I would have went
oh,
home. Yeah, hit 10, we out. But you know, Maverick, that's him. So
Jason, what about you?
Yeah, I would have, I would have did it because with me because with me it's ask for is I much rather ask for forgiveness than for permission. I would have been like, man, hold on, we done game this far, and like we're fit to push 9 today, and you tell me we need 10. Nah, we fit to try to run. We fit to try to. It would. I mean, what was going to happen in that scenario? I wasn't going to go to jail.
I mean, I would have just thought if you taking it from me anyway, I might as well try to see if I can do it. So I agree. I would have done the same thing. I'm not just gonna go home and then live in what ifs. So okay, we're all in agreement. We would have done it. But would y'all have tried to go more than the 10 marks?
I wouldn't have tried to push past the 10. He was doing the most. He was doing the most. And I honestly thought Tom died. When I first seen this movie, I was like, dang, so that's why they call it, Top Gun Maverick. Like he get killed off in the beginning of the movie. Like they gonna kill your legacy character like that?
That'd have been a crazy twist if they did that.
I mean, they did that to Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween Resurrections.
They did.
But we see that got erased out of history.
Man, so he ends up in some country and he asks the kid like, "Hey, where are we?" And he's mean like, "What country? Where are we at?" And he's, "Oh, we on Earth," because I guess he looked like he was in a spacesuit. I guess.
Yeah, I would have understood what the kid asked. Like, sir, I don't know where you came from, but did y'all see any color? I'm curious where he landed. Because can you imagine if this character was black? The high level of awkwardness. But I thought that scene was funny.
So within this, of course, he gets in trouble. There's repercussions in this scenario. They know he like I said, highly decorated person, but also super hot-headed. He doesn't want to. He was an instructor, only 2 months, wasn't doing pretty well in it, so they sent him back to Top Gun because there's a mission. They want him to train for some people, but he doesn't really know what the actual mission is. But then as we go into the actual mission, it's basically a suicide mission. There wasn't an expectation of anyone coming back from this scenario, would y'all think I would have handled it the same way Maverick handled this?
I mean, I think his intentions were good. His intentions were in a better place than the colonels that were in charge because
Admiral
they didn't.
Bo Simpson.
Yes, like he didn't have that forethought of them coming back home. He just said, "We just need some that can get there and drop the bombs." But it's just like you're not thinking about bringing your people home, and it's crazy because you have individuals in high positions like that that will send soldiers to war, to battle, knowing they're not going to come home.
Yeah, no, that was a tough one. But like I said, he's looking at the screen, he sees all the different fighters, and of course he sees one he's familiar with. It's Rooster. I mean, Miles wasn't in the original, but Rooster was in the original movie. His dad was Goose, one of Mav's best friends, which in the original movie he gets killed. In their training, they're doing a training exercise. The plane loses out. They try to eject from the actual train, and it kills him as he's trying to get ejected. So throughout the movie, you feel the tension between Miles' character and his character. You're thinking this is what the actual situation is, but that's not the real reason that we have here. Then Tom, he goes to the bar. He goes to the bar and he sees Penny. Jazz, you were talking about Miss Jennifer Connelly. What do you think about this scene of them in the bar?
I thought this scene was cute. Was she in the original movie?
She wasn't. Which it's a moment I'm gonna bring up. Okay. It's gonna come up, but I'm gonna go into it.
Okay. So I wasn't. Well, with me not knowing it as I was watching it, their chemistry made me feel like she was in the original movie.
Yeah,
which means they did a really good job because just the energy and vibe they was giving out, and she was like, "Don't look at me that way," and I was like, "Ooh," I was like, "Girl, I done said that, drop that line, like, look, you better stop now," and he just looking at her like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and when she rang the bell because that's her bar, I was just like, "Oh, he in trouble now." Can you imagine being in there and having to buy everybody drinks?
Yeah.
It had to be at least 30 to 40 people in there at the time he was there.
At that time.
I would have left so right. Like I wouldn't have just hung out. I'd have been like, all right, let me go ahead and bounce. Like, nah. But I think the two actors and actresses, they did an amazing job with the chemistry and the energy that they were giving. And obviously with the dialogue that they were exchanging with each other, it made me seem like there was a storyline in the previous film.
Yeah.
But for this to just have been created between the one that released in 95, I think that's 96.
It was 84.
That was when the original release?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Damn. Well, it like their whole dialogue energy made me feel like she was in the original movie. So I definitely appreciate it. It was cute. So
yeah, and then of course we get introduced to the new characters. All the new characters in here. Of course, we got Hangman. He seems like the jerk of the bunch.
Yeah.
You have Phoenix. You know, she seems like she's the woman of the crew. It kind of feels as if
she's like the only woman.
You're right. She can hold her own. We have Bob, who doesn't have a call sign. He doesn't have an actual call sign, unfortunately.
Bob.
We have Jay Ellis, which was in this actual movie, which was dope to see Jay Ellis.
Call him by his name.
You want to call him Lawrence?
Why she ain't call him his call sign name?
Payback.
Yeah.
We got Payback in here. Then, of course, we have Rooster. We get introduced to Rooster. Looks just like his dad, Goose, for the original movie. Crazy mustache. This cast of new people that y'all have one that y'all gravitated to or somebody that y'all liked just off top?
I'm going to say Phoenix because the energy that she was given, I could definitely relate to her more. Her standing up and then plus being a woman in the Navy, like you can't be a pushover.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Yeah. Now I really liked Rooster, and I feel like I was expecting his personality to be a certain way at first, but he surprised me because even when he first walked in, Tom saw him and he sort of was like, you know, he didn't really know how to react. Yeah, standoffish, and then like maybe a little. He just didn't know how to react to him, to seeing him because he remembers what happened. So I thought that was interesting. I like I said, I thought it was going to be a whole totally different dynamic between them moving forward. But Rooster was dope. He had that confidence that, this way, like unplugging the jukebox and then just playing it, the song. And I like the callback that he was actually doing the same song as his dad was. That was the flashback from the first movie. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Would y'all have let them kick y'all out the bar like that?
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I would have just been like, let me see how much that bill is. I'd be like, so I ain't got it. And just to have some folks carry me outside and not have to pay my tab, hell
yeah. I mean, it was a naval bar. So in that situation, that's just how they handled it. So that was, you just go about that scenario like that. So you have Payback, have Hangman, throw him out. Tom has this montage. He goes back, thinks about, when Goose passes away. Then, of course, they go into their actual class. And this was one of the first callbacks to the original movie, because now in the original, Tom was in the actual bar and it was Charlie. Charlie was a woman. That's who the love interest was in the first movie, and he's hitting on her. Him and Goose used to have these little things they do to pull women in the bar, and he was like, I think Goose was hitting on her, and he comes up and kind of jacks him up and moves her out the way, and then he's the one talking to the actual woman.
Okay.
Or is it was that, or it was a song? One of the two. They did it. They did it so much. It was just a lot of different moments. So that's what the actual situation was. He goes to the school, goes to the Top Gun class. She's the instructor of the actual Top Gun class.
Nice.
So this time he comes into the class and we see that situation. They look back. Oh, this the guy we threw out the bar. He's our actual instructor in this actual, in here.
That's a good
So
callback. I didn't even
Yeah, that
think
was
about
really
that.
dope.
yeah, so they have a lot of moments like that where they kind of mirror it, but it's done differently. So Tom introduces himself to the class. He gets the manual. Like we know Tom gonna do it his way. He throws it away, and then we have the scene of, like Chris, you said, they have this dogfight in the actual air. So they take it to the air. What y'all think about this scene here?
I thought it was dope. It was really cool. And then I just like how much better he was than everyone, especially like Hangman. He was like mad cocky. You know what I'm saying? So like that whole humble thing. But I going back to when Tom first walked into Hangman and Lawrence's faces when they realized it was him, that was just like priceless. I was just like, I was like, but that's cool that was a callback as well. But nah, that fight pilot scene was dope. I really liked it, and knowing that it's practical makes it even better for some reason. So it was really cool.
You know how pissed I would have been if like we were training and one of y'all said, let's just increase the whole thing, like let's do 200 push-ups. You know how quickly I would have said, shut the hell up, because this man has been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
No, we could do 20 push-ups and we like let him and see if we can beat him. 200? How many push-ups can y'all do?
Straight?
Try the 20. I ain't gonna lie. That's it. That's it. After that, my body, I'm tensing up. Oh my God.
I can do like 40, 45, something like that. I used to be able to do 50. I want to get back though.
Oh, so what if they said instead of push-ups, you had to do a minute straight on the ab wheel?
Why do you bring that thing up? That thing is
because that's what she's good at.
Yeah, that thing is.
Of course, she said that.
But hold on, y'all saying all of this, but you're not answering the question. Like, do you think
I'm not.
I
mean, honestly, I wouldn't have in that scenario. I wouldn't really have a choice. So I wouldn't
Jason,
want to. I would much rather do push up than ab.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's. Okay. So 1 minute on the ab wheel or 200 push-ups.
200 push-ups.
200 push-ups straight.
Yes, Chris.
No, it might be the ab wheel, bro.
I'm gonna take the push-ups. I take the jelly arms. Might step up like what's his name? Jamie Foxx in that episode when he had to do a whole bunch of push-ups in the training class.
The ab wheel for a minute is not that bad, Jason.
You're right, but it hurts, so I'm good.
Okay.
So in this scene here, what I wanted to actually talk about is imagine Chris, Jazz, your actors, because it's politically correct to say actors now. You get your agent hits you up, hey, Top Gun Maverick coming out. We need y'all in these actual roles. You take them. I mean, are you guys taking it? Would you guys take the role after seeing the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, after seeing it, yeah.
Cool. 2 months later, they say, hey, Tom Cruise has created a Top Gun class for all the actors. He's created a program. It'll be a 3 months extensive program where you have to learn how to actually fly. Are we still rolling?
I mean, we flying at this point. We're not rolling. We ain't on the ground no more, Jason. We flying.
I get you. So I'm going somewhere with this stuff. We still good. We still good. All right. So part of this course, because you're learning to fly in this actual practical, in this movie they are flying. Mm-hmm. Everybody on these scenes, they're actually in these planes. So because you're flying, it's a possibility you have to be ejected over water at some point. So they have a swimming test that you must pass in order to get in this, which is more of you must stay underwater with a suit for a certain amount of time for about 2 minutes. Y'all still rolling? Y'all still good with that?
We swimming now, Jason. What you mean?
You can't swim, Jazz. You're just underwater.
No, I'm just saying, suit. We in the water now. We not.
Jazz was like, no, I can swim. She was ready.
You gotta go.
Jazz, I took all them classes. I can swim.
Chris caught it. Hey, go, Jason, but you're done swimming. We're in the water now, Jason. You just missed it.
I get you.
I
did. Jazz. I get it, Jazz.
As soon as she said swim, she lit up. She was
yes, that's me.
She couldn't wait. She couldn't wait to do another movie. Somebody was swimming.
Chris, it's been a while. We didn't talk about it in October
Finally,
at all.
I can get back to my moment of glory. But in this movie, they're actually practically flying, and they are hour flights or hour sets when they're doing it. So whenever they get in the actual air, they have to film themselves when they get into the actual air, and they wouldn't know what the scene looked like until they made it back to the actual ground. So that was actually pretty dope. Within that, Brewster erased a couple of his shots by mistake when he was in the air, so they had to go back up. I mean, he had to tell everybody what not to do because he did, within that scenario. But yeah, that was like, so that was just, yeah, I would. Now Tom flew all of his scenes. Actually, he flew all of his, so they were in the back of somebody's as they were going. But yeah,
I mean, if y'all had the opportunity to learn how to fly a plane, well, let's say one of the planes from this movie, would y'all try it?
I would. Yeah,
I would. I know Jay Ellis. He said he was at like 45 hours at the time when they made the movie. So
I'm not gonna lie, like watching this, I was like, damn, I feel like I need to add this to my bucket list. Like,
oh wow, that'd be dope.
And Jazz, I know people can't see it, but the scene that Jazz has in her background is actually from the original movie. There was a scene where they were doing some training, and there was just a bogey, basically a plane that's just in the actual area, and Tom flies it, and he does a cobra, which he turns his airplane on back, and he's looking inside the actual plane. So he does this in this movie, he does it to Rooster. No, he actually does, he does to Rooster, he does it to Hangman, because they're out there, they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. And him and like I said, him and Rooster have this ego thing in this actual scenario. And like I said, like Rooster, he's not breaking it, and they break the hard deck, which is against the code of the actual class, unless you're actually in an actual fight. And he makes them, they play a game of chicken, which I wouldn't have played that in the actual air. And we just talked about, the playing with dragons, like they playing with stuff that can end their lives. I don't know why you would be playing in this actual scenario, but they get out. Of course, he gets in trouble again. He's talking to John Hamm character about the actual class, and he was telling them, hey, you are not to break the hard line, and moving forward, when you do your lessons, you need to have them in paper and in writing. He was like, that include the hard deck, sir? All right, here go my lesson plan for the day. So he's already knowing they on my ass no matter what goes on, what happens in here. And basically the mission, they have to fly below the hard deck at 100 feet. They have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to actually go, and they have to go 600 knots, which is right at 9 Machs, right at going. But he wants to lean them into 10, because I was wondering if that was going to come back up in the actual movie, like when he was doing it.
The opening scene.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to come back up in the actual movie, which, I mean, it does.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I was just like, when I finished watching, I was like, okay, so we met Hondo, but like, what was the point of that whole opening
of that actual scene? Yeah, exactly. So I guess it just played into it. Ironically,
it was written that way.
Exactly. So, so they go out and they try to actually do the actual mission. We have Phoenix's team. They don't really communicate. They get killed. We have Hangman team. He's not a team. Hangman's just gonna leave you out to dry. He's gonna finish the mission.
Yeah.
At any cost. What you got, Chris?
No, I was gonna say Hangman was like he even had the smug look. You know what I mean? So they cast cast him well. I give him that, but I couldn't stand Hangman.
Yeah, and then you have Rooster, who he's playing it by the book, playing it too slow, and then Tom's on all of them like, man, they're not ready for what's really about to happen. What did y'all think about this scene of them trying to do the actual mission?
I thought it was actually pretty cool, and them going through similar situations that they would go to once, on the mission. Because at one point, the plane is going through, and then it hits one of the mountains that is on the course that they need to take. Do y'all think y'all would have been able to survive this mission?
You know how much training I had?
Hell no. But look,
not 2 weeks. Nah.
So just being realistically, they are they're the top of their class. So
right.
it's a possible. If I was top of my class, it's a possibility. I would try it. You know what I'm saying? They put them in there because they're the elite bunch.
All right, so Jason said he about to risk it. Chris, you taking this? You taking this on?
No, like, Jason can have it. No,
I'm not gonna lie. Even if I'm at the top of my class, well, let me not say that because my confidence could have me like, okay, I got this. But when I was seeing,
you're gonna be on your shit, bro.
Right, because I'm sitting here like, when I was looking at them, I said my ass would hit a mountain on accident. But then I'm just like, Jason, I was just sitting here like, you make the wrong turn too smooth, like you out of here. But I mean, I guess if I'm at the top of my class, yeah, I probably handle it. But Jazz today, oh shit! Hey, nah. Chris, that mountain get me out of here.
And then, like I said, within this, within this scenario, they have a little tussle between Goose and not Goose. It's Rooster.
Hangman and Rooster. Like Hangman talking too much shit.
Yeah.
But he does find out. He figures out what the tension was between Maverick and Rooster. He finds out that Goose was in the class, or they were buddies in the actual class together. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Goose, he got killed, and he kind of used that in this argument with with Rooster, which is kind of super messed up. Just going in there, and then we find out the real reason Rooster has an issue with Maverick. How did y'all feel about this scene between Maverick and Rooster?
I thought it was interesting that all the other students peeped it too, because even though you had the plane and everything going around, they knew something was up. And then even with Rooster, he still respected Maverick, but he was just kind of like, I'm not rocking with you right now. So it was emotional. I understand Maverick's side of it, which is that's a traumatic thing to do, and you don't want that to happen to him. But I thought it was well done. I thought it was good character development for both of them too, like moving forward to see what we eventually got. So I thought that, in totality of actually what we saw, I thought it was a real dose in you.
Yeah, I agree, because before we even found out what Maverick's reasoning was, I mean, I didn't see the first one, but just going off of what I've seen in the movie already, I didn't think his character was the type of character to block opportunities from somebody.
Right.
Unless he had like serious justification to do that. And so as soon as we got more of a more clearer picture, we just like, okay, I can understand the situation that he was put in. Yeah. And it's just, it's unfortunate because either you don't say nothing and they hate you for what you did, or you try to protect them, or just be upfront, but then they could have resentment for that parent who asked you to, do this. So it was tough.
Yeah, this movie was super well written. A lot of different. It has the comedic timing, the action in this movie, and of course we're going into one of the more emotional scenes. Is when Mav, when he gets in trouble again. Of course, he gets a message from Val Kilmer's character, Iceman. In the original movie, Iceman and Maverick, they're basically Hangman and Rooster. In that original movie, they always butted heads. I believe they actually came to blows in that movie. Iceman was the better flight. Iceman beat him out in class. Actually, he beat him out in the actual class. But Tom was the better. I mean, so on paper, I don't know how you say who's better. Numbers are better here. But if you're talking about an actual somebody that's shifting the way stuff is supposed to go, it would have been Tom's character. So I did find out as I was going. Like I said, super extensive research with this movie here. Val Kilmer cannot speak.
Right.
Val Kilmer, he has throat cancer.
Are you talking about the actor or Ice?
Yes, the actor.
Are you serious?
Oh, snap, for real?
Yeah, he has throat cancer, so he cannot speak at all. His son, that's his son voice that we hear in the movie. It's a computerized mixed message of Val Kilmer's voice, of just from past works and things like that, as well as his son voice, who sounds just like him. So that's where there was a 2021 movie where it kind of hit 2017. He announced to the people he has throat cancer. 2021, there's a documentary you can watch on Amazon where he's explaining it. So him doing the typing and stuff, that was actually real. That wasn't and Tom fought to get him in this movie. So that's how he brought him in there.
Whoa. So that's
Yeah.
crazy because that makes the scene like better. Like you know what I mean?
It makes it hit.
Yeah, it was emotional, like in the context of the movie, but knowing that I had no idea about that. Wow.
Yeah.
That. Did you know that prior to watching the film?
I didn't. I'm just thinking it's just acting. I'm thinking it's
Right.
acting. So it's me after just going in and looking. I'm like, oh wow. Like I really didn't know that.
Wow.
So yeah. So he fought for him to be in this movie, which like I said, I didn't know. They actually filmed this in 2018. And they finished it in 2019. So it was a year after he had just got diagnosed with his actual with the actual throat cancer. So yeah, that was dope. And they didn't want to push it during COVID, so that's why they held it for 2 years.
Wow.
Worked out.
That makes that scene hit a lot differently.
Does. Because it's almost like Jason just said, Tom pushed it for Val Kilmer to be in the movie. That's like an extra emotional, like their chemistry, that they had. Because it was like a mutual respect, between Iceman and Maverick. So like having that in real life is just deeper. Wow, that shocked me. Jason dropped the bomb on us with that one.
If you would have told me that before I watched this, I would have been in so many tears. I feel like I'm in a tear right now. I love all right. Not on the pod.
it was a moment. It was a moment, like I said, just looking at in the way Tom delivered the lines he had, because he, like I said, it's the thing of the man, like he said, he's not really speaking, so it's not him, and you're just sitting there with somebody that you're not speaking to, and you're speaking to what they're actually putting, and it's everything that he's saying, and the emotional impact of what Tom's saying is super dope. But of course, with this, you have to go into something that's not as pressing, not as hard, jazz, because I know this is what you're into. This is an iconic for the original movie. In the original, they were playing volleyball. In this one, they're playing offense, defense, football on the beach. And Jay Ellis said they lost all the argan oil, the coconut oil, the baby oil. They probably lost it in San Diego that weekend. What were you feeling? What did you think about this scene? Because it's only one black man, but how did you feel about this scene on the beach?
Every time I see him, I think of Lawrence, and then I think I'm not looking at Issa's man. But I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on that Val Kilmer news. Like, that's so crazy to me. I really enjoyed this scene for the simple fact that having a group of friends on the beach playing flag football is on my things to like do with a group of friends, but folks don't know how to get together. But anyway, so I thought that was dope. And then you see Tom out there, and him and Rooster are actually getting along.
Yeah.
Like Rooster helped him up, and it kind of caught Tom off guard, but just to see them, to like, they're not training, but they're actually coming together, because realistically, this assignment that they are working on is life and death.
Right.
The person beside you is your brother / sister. So it's like, y'all have to be there for each other, whoever gets picked. So you don't have to train all the time. We have to get to know each other and be closer. And so I thought this scene was like really, it was really positive. But then normally when you have movies that bring those positive scenes, they trying to set you up for something to happen later.
An emotional connect.
You just sitting here like, so y'all gonna Thrones me. Okay, that's what's up.
Look how Thrones is jaded, Jazz.
She's super jaded. She try to prepare herself for these situations. But man.
Right. But yeah. Give me 5 minutes to process that Val Kilmer news. Like,
yeah, that was tough.
Yo, that was a lot.
Nah,
I do apologize, but it's a real thing. Chris, what you was about to say? It's like you could.
Yeah, no, I was saying I agree with Jazz that how it was very positive, and like the team bonded, and even when John Hamm's character came up, and he was trying to get on Tom, get on Maverick rather. He was like, why are they playing football? He's like, well, you wanted them to be a team. And I really like that, it showed his wisdom, because like you said before in the previous movie, I haven't seen it, but he was a hi-hat.
He
So
was Hangman, but he was Hangman in the first movie, basically.
see, so he's learned from that. He's got experience. He's teaching the younger people, and he knows different ways that he has to do in order to bring the group together. Like Jazz said, they're brothers, they're a team. So I really like that scene as well. Just him knowing what to do and how to get everybody on one accord. I thought it was dope.
And it was super dope. And he, of course, Penny, they're on the outside of Penny's bar. Him and Penny, they go back to the house. They do a little razzle dazzle in the bed. She left the door. I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't catch that. That's a callback to the first movie. Charlie, he was speaking with Charlie. She wouldn't let him in the first time. So the next time he came back to the house, as he's about to leave on his motorcycle, she leaves the door open. He's like, "Oh, it's the green light." So,
okay.
She lets him in. They're talking, and this one we kind of get that another emotion. What happened?
I'm just thinking about like all the bugs that probably went in while she just left the door wide open. Like it's stuff like that goes through my mind because I'll just be like, "Walk with me." Park your motorcycle right here. Come on, walk with me through the door. I'm not keeping my door open for you. Letting the AC out. But growing up in a black household.
Look what Jazz thinking about. That's exactly what.
Don't you be letting my air out, boy?
Exactly.
Jason, you understand, especially being raised in the South.
You letting all my air out. So in here, so we have another emotional scene. They're sitting there talking, and we find out the real reason Tom pulled Rooster's papers. It was because his mom was played by Meg Ryan in the original movie.
Chris, you know who that is?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Meg Ryan.
But you Miss Helen Hunt?
Can we not bring her up? Can we not bring up the forbidden one? That's Voldemort in this podcast. We're not gonna talk about her. Yeah, we're not talking about her. Shout out to Meg Ryan though. I guess.
Jason is dying.
Because Jason actually likes Helen. He loves Helen Hunt. So I'm just like, all right, man.
The question is, why do you hate Helen Hunt?
I don't hate her. I'm just like,
the next movie Helen Hunt, the next movie that matters that Helen Hunt is in, that's good. We got to talk about it.
Okay, so serious question.
And they got to be Chris. They got to be Chris Lincoln Thorns.
No. Seriously, is she like an A-list? Like, is she like big time, or is she just like a?
Back in the day, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the 90s, she was that. She was. That's who she was. Oh man, that was funny. That was funny. But in the midst of this, I mean, I've had this scenario happen. I don't know about you, Chris. I don't know about you, Jazz. But the kid comes home in the midst of.
What do you mean you don't know? We don't have kids.
Y'all don't have children, but y'all may have been with somebody that has a kid. That could have been a nephew, it could have been a little bitty cousin, but somebody comes home and it startles you.
Jeff's like, wait. She's like, now that you say that.
Yo, Chris,
so while we here, have any of you ever had to leave a window in a scenario?
No. Shout out to balconies.
That's bars.
No. Wait,
Chris, shout out to balconies? Have you had to leave through a balcony?
No, I'm not jumping down there. You better get whatever situated straight. No. Luckily, I haven't had the experience.
So you hide in the closet?
Huh?
Nothing.
Maybe if I had to. No, that's too easy.
I'm not hiding in the closet. When I was in high school, I was bigger, definitely bigger. Went to go see these young women. So to have a nice time, rather have a good time. Me and my cousin.
You trying to make it so innocent? Like we don't.
It was innocent. It was innocent.
Oh, okay.
So we pull up to the house. My cousin like, you ready? I'm like, yeah. We finna do this. We finna hang out with some girls. Like, we finna kick it. We go to the house. Their parents are home. They open the window. It's like, there's no way in hell I can fit through that window. There's no way. I can't. Can you send one of them outside? And we can just sit. We can hang out in the car. Like,
there's got to be another way, right?
Yeah, no, I lost that night. I just sat in the car and waited for them to finish hanging out. So yeah, that was my only I've never had a scenario where I had to try to run out of a place, but I've definitely got stuck trying to get in one, so I didn't go in. So yeah.
That's wild. Never experienced anything like that.
Yeah. But as you look at Jazz, she's thinking.
Wait, she thinking. Hold up.
Out a window, no. The garage door, but that's on the first floor, so that's not like a dangerous situation.
You try to go out the doggy door?
I didn't try to go out anywhere. Jazz wasn't leaving nowhere. It was it's time for you to go. Like, how the fuck I look? Jason, stop. You know me better than that.
I was like, okay, we're having some Scream moments for real.
That's exactly what I thought of from Scream.
Be like, Tatum did it all wrong.
That was such a cliche 90s thing that just like, why the dog do it?
Everybody was just like, why would you do that? Like, why? But it was funny though.
I don't know what Wes had going on, but I mean, it was a moment.
Yeah.
As Tom, as he's leaving out the actual window, nice little funny scene. He's trying to leave out, and unfortunately, the daughter is right there.
Yeah.
Just the timing of the world. And she gives, what you gonna say, Jay?
I don't know why they try to play her like she's stupid. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure she saw his motorcycle. Like, you think Tom hid his motorcycle? He probably parked it in the driveway. So she probably saw it, was like, I know where mom sneak out all her hoes. Let me go to the side window. And she see Tom just jump out. And she was just like, yeah, just don't break her heart. Which I also feel like, damn, he must have really broke her heart in the first movie. So like the whole time I'm thinking he must have been a really terrible dude she was dating. But I remember, Jason, you mentioned it was a different love interest.
Yeah, it was a difference. So in between those 34 years, 36 years of them making the actual movie, I'm assuming it was just more of a so within that time period, I'm pretty sure they had some relationships, and as he was telling you the things that he was doing, he just kept getting sent out in different places. I'm pretty sure they weren't. Because you know that, well, typically those military loves, from what I hear, they don't really last, because the person keeps going on these different tours until they get, I guess, married, and then they can pull them with them. But he's all over. I don't know.
I heard the same thing, but that's funny. Jazz, as soon as you said married, like Jazz reaction, she was just like, "Oh, that's beautiful."
Yeah." She said, "Throw up in them."
I was just thinking like to get pulled, dragged everywhere.
Her mind is just, she's just.
I didn't even go there, Chris. See, I know.
So we find out that there's raw uranium being delivered. So this, unfortunately, is going to have to push their mission up a week. And like I said, they're going to be flying F-18s for this actual mission. And Tom pretty much said, "Hey, we're going to have to go Mach 9 in order for this to actually work the right way." So they're doing they're going through a training, actual training mission, and as they're actually running it, I think it's Phoenix and Bob are actually running, and as they're actually doing it, you see Tom, he jets into the actual situation. Like, wait, what is he doing out here? He's like, I'm doing like a real life scenario, because you may not be out here by yourself, which we do see in that last scene. Some people actually do show up. So I'm giving you a real life crash course, unfortunately. And as they're actually running the actual scene, they're trying to, Bob is he couldn't mark the site on the actual ground. Coyote tries to shoot it. He misses as he's trying to do this. And unfortunately, like you were talking about, Chris, Coyote's trying to make it out of the actual place, and he begins to pass out. What you think about? We think about this scene here.
I thought that was the scene. I thought he was gonna be the one to go. So like we talked about the football scene where it was just like everybody getting happy and everything, and it's setting it up. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but luckily it didn't happen. But it's just even like when Tom was telling them like you're gonna have that that pressure when you're doing it, how intense it is. It makes sense, and that's why I really like the way he was teaching them, and it's evident from when he threw out the book. He's like we're not going by the book, we're going by real world scenarios, because this, like, everything in the book may not happen when you're actually doing it in real life. So I thought it was really cool, but I thought he was out of here. I was like, oh no.
That was definitely one of those scenes where you were kind of like on the edge of your seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this movie had a lot of those.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, whoa. Oh, okay. But nah, this scene, I thought the same thing because I was just like, damn. So we got one not making it through camp, like, or through training. So I was scared for his life. But the way that Maverick was able to get him through that,
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if y'all caught that he had to basically
right,
act as if he was going to shoot him in order for that to
exactly,
cut it.
just to him to like be
Alert.
right, and so which saved his life because I feel like somebody who doesn't know experience in that field,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So just for him to do that you see that experience, it's essential.
Yeah,
because somebody could know all the pages in the textbook and not know how it is in the field.
exactly.
Real life work, real life
exactly.
experience.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why.
Talk that, Jazz. Talk that.
I mean,
but this ain't the only one. So we go, then we get your girl, Jazz. We got Phoenix. We have Phoenix, Phoenix and Bob. They as Phoenix and Bob and Maverick are actually flying off. They get like I can't think of what they bird strike. There's a bird strike. Basically, a bird gets stuck in the engine and it blows one of her actual engines. What did y'all feel about this? This one felt more like a parallel between what happened with Goose and Maverick. What did y'all think about this scene? Because this is boom boom in this scenario.
Yeah.
Another scene where I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh, so they really about to die,
right? That's what it seemed like. Yeah,
I'm just sitting here like, and those scenes happen back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was same scene actually.
Right. So when you see something like that, you just like, okay, you let the first guy survive, so that means these two about to die.
That.
And so, and it's not even as if they became unconscious and was about to crash. They like their plane is on fire. Yeah, they had to eject to where it escalated to where the first situation was and gave you more. And then you just sitting here like, how are you about to kill both of them? But then luckily they survived. So I was like, oh, okay. They still alive. But I was just like, damn, y'all got me on an emotional roller coaster right now with all of this stuff happening.
Yeah, they had their cues. They had their cues on point in this actual movie. And then of course, we get going more into the actual not necessarily the climax of the movie because we're still in the second act here. But we finally have that confrontation that we, I guess, kind of anticipated was going to happen at some point between Rooster and Mav, and they actually have this conversation. What did y'all feel about what Maverick told Rooster in this situation here?
Good.
Oh no, Chris, you got it.
What did he say?
So excuse me. So in this, he was trying to figure out why he got pulled. Like what was the reason? What was the thing? And he was telling them, hey, you're not ready for this. Like you're not ready. You get up there and you're trying to go by the book. You're trying to think about what's happening in this situation, and you have to stop. You have to just let that go.
I mean, it was a really good callback. Sorry to cut you off, Chris. But when Maverick and Rooster was out there on the plane, when they did the scene that you can see as my background to where Maverick was over him, Rooster had an opportunity to shoot Maverick, but he said, I'm too low. So you thinking too much and not taking opportunities to where you hesitate.
Yeah.
But when you are in those assignments, in those situations, you don't have time to hesitate, and which is what Hangman kept pushing on Rooster. He said, same Rooster. He's just like, you were so by the book, you're so conservative. You just, the hesitation could get you killed.
Yeah.
So.
And I saw that too, because like you said, he's just so by the book. And Maverick has a different level of protection for him because of what happened to his dad. So like he knows that he has that situation as well. Even with him being by the book and overthinking, it's tough because you want him to get it right so bad, but he's just strictly by the book. He's overthinking, but then at the same time, you don't want him to be reckless. So it's like that happy medium that he's trying to get him to understand. And it was just a tough situation for Maverick to be put in.
It was, but of course, like I said, it just keeps escalating. In this scenario, and Iceman passes away. We find out that Iceman passes away. Of course, Maverick, he's at the actual not the he's at the actual funeral. Everybody's there celebrating the life of Iceman. And unfortunately, Lieutenant Bowie kind of uses this as a scenario to kind of like give him, I guess, bereavement time or whatever it is. He wants to try to kick him out of the actual, kick him out of the actual program and run it the way he felt it should have been ran in the beginning, which like the kids knew. Everybody was calling out. It was like, man, we're going to be sitting ducks in this situation. Like this isn't what I would have been doing. Which I have handled this or done something differently. And this, if y'all were the Top Gun trainees, which I have handled this differently.
I mean, I feel like when a higher level is giving you instructions, right, the training that gets you to where you are trains you to follow the instruction of the person that's in charge. Mm-hmm. So if I was in that situation, I mean, you can't say, no, we're not doing it.
Right.
Like you haven't trained for years and invested your entire, like, this is your future to disobey. So probably would have done the exact same thing that they would have done. I mean, but I think the way that Maverick handled that was amazing.
Well, actually, how did y'all feel about that scene when Maverick, he basically went in there, he gave them 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but he was like, now we're going to do 2:15. What did you feel about that? How you feel about that scene, Jazz?
I thought that scene was dope, and I thought it also let who was the dude? What's the dude that hated Maverick?
Lieutenant Bo.
Lieutenant Bo.
Character.
Mm-hmm.
Both. So it made him look stupid in front of the other pilots.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have something like that happen in front of you, you can't sit up here and say, "Oh, we're going to give you 4 minutes." But the person that has the most experience, the most training, the person you actually had leading us said 2:15, and we know for a fact because he started out with 2:30, right, Jason?
And 2:30 was the original.
2:30 to get us that could save us. Somebody add an extra 2 minutes onto it, and you know that you're sitting ducks. In my mind, I would have thought this is a suicide mission. Like realistically, if I was a pilot, it's just we got too much time to be out there for us to complete this mission and for us to actually be able to come home. So I feel like Lieutenant Bob.
Lieutenant, well, you can call him Cyclone because that's his call name. That's his call name.
I mean, Cyclone looks stupid, but he didn't have no choice. Like Maverick made him look foolish, and Maverick did that in a really good time. So
yeah, and then they pulled Maverick into the office again. Hothead, and he said, you stolen $1 million piece of equipment in here. And I don't know, whether to have you arrested, brought up on charges, or have you lead the actual team, which goes back to what Iceman was telling him. He said, I didn't know whether it's time to let it go. Mm-hmm. And he said, I just don't know how, because it's not what I am, it's who I am. Right. And like I said, that just go into that, and they appoint him as an actual pilot, the leader of the actual crew. Because that's pretty much what he wanted to do anyway. You to say something, Chris?
No, I'm listening.
Okay, gotcha. And then he picks his team. What did y'all think about the team that he actually put together?
I said, "Damn, Lawrence."
Yeah. So we got what you say, Chris?
No, go ahead. He almost passed out. So
I mean, everybody almost did technically. Mm-hmm. In that scenario,
Phoenix made a cut.
He did. Got Payback and Fame Boy. You got Phoenix and Bob, and then he, of course, he picked Rooster as his wingman.
Of course,
kind of leaving Hangman left behind.
Do you think?
Jason, we here.
No. So, who would y'all have picked?
I mean,
same people that Maverick picked.
Realistically, I would have definitely picked. I probably would have picked Hangman before I picked Rooster. Just being real.
Chris, what about you?
Why would you Hangman? Why Hangman over Rooster? Just because he was so by the book?
Rooster
hadn't proven himself yet.
His hesitation would have got you killed.
That would have been Bob would have been my biggest, like, I don't
But Bob
know,
was a
but
backseat though.
right. No, I'm saying like I'm not mad at it, especially when you have Phoenix, so you sort of have to have that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if I would have picked Hangman because Hangman seemed like he would not leave me hanging.
No, he would have left you hanging. He would have.
Jason, I tried to
He
I
tried to
tried to
get away
avoid the
from
joke
it.
the first, yeah. Hey
You
man,
ran right into it, brother.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think I still would have picked Rooster. Just if I had to choose between Rooster and Hangman, I would have had to do
Mm.
Rooster.
I mean, it was a nice character development here as we go into the third act of the actual movie. So how y'all feel about this third act as we going through this is definitely with as shout out to listener Vivian Green, an emotional roller coaster because I definitely was like, man, hold up. Every scene that was happening
Yeah.
here, I was like, man, hold up.
That was a fire song, Jason. I'm sitting here replaying. I'm like, damn, I haven't heard Vivian Green in a while. She had a tonight. I gotta get back to it. She got
Yeah, look at
some
me.
good
Look at
albums.
that. Look at that. Look at that.
Jason's so happy. He's so glad we like this movie.
Jason loved this movie.
He do.
I did, man. So we have everybody. Like it's like Jazz said, we have these little different emotional send offs that we're having in this scenario here because everybody is trying. You have Rooster trying to thank Mav for picking him. We have Mav thanking Hundo. We're looking at man, and that's typical. In that situation is kind of playing with both of them because everybody has had a near death experience except these two in this actual movie. So the mission begins. They begin to run the mission. They form they send the tomahawks, which are the actual bombs they send first to hit the actual landing strip to keep people from being able to take off as they're actually proceeding. And of course, they have to stay below the hard deck, which is 100 feet, so that keeps their tomahawks from shooting down at them as they get to take off. Because once you're in the air, that's the sitting duck situation. You just have to be able to watch out for that. Tom, Bob, and Phoenix, they're doing they're coasting through this actual thing. There's no issues, no problems with them as they're going through. But then, unfortunately, you got Payback, Rooster is he's going too slow in the actual situation, and he does the same thing Tom does pretty often. And before he takes off, he always did it when he was alive. He actually said, "Hey, Goose, talk to me, Goose. What I need to do." Because that was who that's the only person he actually trusted.
Oh, okay.
And so he said, "Talk to me, Dad. What I need to do, what I need to do." And he finally, again, I gotta say man up, but he takes the situation into his own hands and he stops thinking. As they go, and he said, miracle number one, Tom Maverick, he hits the actual spot. They boom, he's out, and they're going, and they have this dog fight with like I said, the actual missiles being shot at them as they're in the actual air. And unfortunately, when Payback and Fanboy go, Fanboy can't get his laser. He can't level the actual place for him to shoot it. And magically, Rooster, I guess, is a great shot. He should.
Jason, do not say magically. He is just that skilled. Don't you do that to him.
He does it with the level eye. He's able to just shoot the actual hole. He hits it, and like the entire time they're trying to watch out for these actual tomahawks that shooting. Flynn, how did y'all feel about this scene that they're trying to get away from these tomahawks as they're trying to shoot them out the sky? They're doing all these evasive maneuvers, countermeasures, barrel rolls.
That's what it is. Does Jazz know what the barrel roll is? You know what the barrel roll?
Jazz knows what the barrel roll is.
I was hoping so. Yeah. It was good. Like Jazz said, the action scenes were really dope. It kept you on the edge of your seat because we already had 2 fake outs. So I'm with you.
I'm waiting for somebody to die. I'm waiting for somebody to be blown out the air. Not that I want it to happen, but I'm waiting for it to happen because
the way they did it, yeah.
I was just like, okay, who's it going to be?
Yeah, and Jason made mention earlier when he thought Maverick was going to be, gone at the beginning. I thought this was what was going to happen, and I was just
I'm about to go into that, Chris. So they make it to Calkin's corner. So this is where they're just pretty much having to have a dogfight throughout the entire situation.
Yeah.
They're watching out, and like I said, because of this, there was, like you said, Chris, in the training when Tom pulled up on them to say, "Hey, this may be a real life situation. You know, you may not just be down there by yourself." The two Bokies that were actually flying over, they came to went into defensive measures, so they're in the actual air having to take them out. Tom takes out, I think Tom took out both of them, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe Maverick took out both. No, he took out. I think he took out one. Somebody else took out the other one. As they're in the air, but as the other one is about to fire, Rooster's flares are out. And at this point, this is when Maverick he pretty much sacrifices himself to keep Rooster alive in there. So we know he didn't pass, right? We know he didn't die. Do y'all think he should have?
So I'll only say no because I feel like it was expected. You know what I mean? Like if this movie was 30 years after the original and it doesn't, I mean, 30 years between sequels is like, that's not common. And it almost could see like a passing of the torch type where they do, I get, maybe Rooster is the new, Maverick, like something like that. So it was expected. So
like a prequel or a requel.
The
next movie will be a requel.
No, this is the requel here, Jazz.
I try to avoid that word.
It is. I purposely didn't say it. I purposely wasn't going to say it. This would be a requel.
I'm curious, Jason, how would this one be the requel and not a sequel? But how come if they were to make another one with bringing back Rooster, if Maverick dies, why wouldn't that one be the requel?
So the requel is, it's like you can't. So it's not a direct. Technically, I think this would be closest to a sequel more so because it's 34 years and it's introducing you to a lot of new people,
right?
And it's not all legacy people in this. It's only two or three legacy people, and only one, and the other ones have died. It's just Tom and a lot of new faces. So it's not completely different. But it is a different story, different setting, different, within that sense. So, I'm not arguing, not arguing, but I'm not mad at either situation. But I would consider it a requel more so. I know, if you're looking at Scream, of course, it's a new main character in that situation. So that's what I would go. That's what I would go in there. So even with Tom, this is still about Tom, but it's more so about the story of Rooster. Right. I feel like purposely to me. So it could be a situation of passing the choice. So if he would have died and given it to him, I feel like that would have been a nice send off for him in that. But of course, Tom's not dead.
I thought he was dead. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw his plane get shot out of the sky, my eyes watered up a little bit, but I was cutting onions at the same time.
Oh, how convenient.
So, who knows what this
she's preparing dinner and watching the movie. This is good.
Yes.
Right at the emotional scene, right? Like
Chris.
Hey,
look, life had those two things set up at the same time. But I was just like damn, I didn't see me being this emotional over the character, but I was like, it's gotta be these onions, y'all. It's gotta be these onions. But I was just like, he is out of here. But then I saw how much time was left on the movie. I said 30 minutes. This mug ain't dead.
Oh, she did.
She did.
But no, I did, because if I was in the movies, I would have immediately was just like, y'all really killed his character off?
Yeah.
So
I wanted them to.
Me too, Jason. Like, that would have been really good to the story. Sorry, Tom.
It would have hit. It would have hit differently. But based on how, but this happens like 2 or 3 more times after this. So, we know.
I didn't like the second one.
I'm gonna see what you mean. So we find out Tom isn't dead. He's on the ground. He's cornered by an actual helicopter. I don't know how he woke up, but he woke up after being fired to the ground. We're gonna say this plot armor. This is back to Jurassic World Dominion. He is Chris Pratt in this scenario where he's getting shot at by a helicopter. He's running, but of course this helicopter gets shot out of the air by Rooster. As this is happening, of course, Rooster gets shot out the air now.
I said, what the hell? This part I did not like. When Rooster came in to save him, I said, I was clapping. I said, okay, whoo, go save him. Yes, he saved you, you saved him, and then Rooster plane gets shot down. I said, wait a damn minute. I was like, so you mean to tell me he risked his life to save you, survive, and then you get shot out the air? But then we come to find out Rooster was able to walk out of his plane, plot armor, because I'm sick of seeing people.
He ejected. He was able to eject.
Right.
I mean, because so in this, because it happens like several different times, and you know when you're about to be shot. So it's not a thing of, and it kind of play. I mean, so it plays into the actual next scene. But I mean, that's what happens.
I wanted somebody to be hurt. I needed a bone sticking out of somebody's leg. I needed them to limp. Yes, Chris, I want all of that.
I talked to a few of my like military friends, and they were more so like one guy was like, you ever thought about being shot out of he was like, I mean, Jason, I stay on the boat. If I got shot, that's it. Ain't no more. There is no messed up leg, messed up arm. I'm just dead after they shoot that boat. That's the end for me. Same situation for them in these actual airplanes. They get shot. If they're not quick enough, that's it. There is no more of them in that in that actual scene. So with this, they go to the enemy territory. I don't know how they. I mean, I guess because they shot this enemy territory up, and fortunately there was an F-14 sitting on the runway, which is what you have in your background, Jazz. That's what they were flying in the original movie, and like they're in this one, they're in the Gen 5. They're in Gen 5 fighter planes. So they're trying to fly this actual plane. In some kind of way, they actually get this off the taxiway, which isn't a real runway.
They were able to run to it. But I will say, so, okay, I'm not going to give too much grief to this scene because literally there was smoke everywhere. People was in, like, it was a chaotic situation. So I was just like, I can see how the opposite side could just run through because nobody's thinking to themselves, maybe the people that literally just shot down our area is on the ground, running around. Like, nobody's thinking that. I mean, I wouldn't think that. So I can understand why they were able to get to this plane. But I was just like, all right, y'all, that plot armor is not as thick as Jurassic. It's not as thick as Jurassic World, but it's about like 37.5%.
It is, and they get in the F-14. So shockingly, it still works. Tom able to fly off with it, and they make it into the air. They almost home free. They're like, it's over with. It's a wrap. They're able to send a call sign back to the people at their actual base, at their camp. And as they're doing this, two tallies they pull in on them. They got two planes on top of them. How y'all feeling now with these two planes and then this big old ass tank engine in the air?
I'm just expecting Tom to be out of here. I mean, the whole it just seemed like that's what they was doing. They fake me out.
They flirted with their death. They flirted with their death.
So I'm like, Maverick out of here soon.
What you think, Jazz, with the tallies?
I wasn't expecting his reaction to be what it was, but I appreciated his reaction because Rooster was just like, so what you gonna do? He was just like, it seemed like he was trying to think and be by the book. And Rooster told him, like, how would you handle this if I wasn't in the plane? And then I feel like that's when Maverick was like, okay, let me stop thinking. Let me do what I would normally do. Because once you start to be hesitant and get yourself off your own game plan, that's how you can get yourself hurt or killed.
Yeah.
So Maverick was just like, all right, let me go ahead and play this how I normally would. When he shot the guy to the pilot to the right, I was just like, okay, I'm loving this energy. I was just like, okay, this is cool. So you got one plane out of there, and then you were able to dodge the other one. Now the third plane, that's when I was just like, okay, so they're going to eject. Maverick gonna die, and Rooster is gonna tell his story. I was just like, that's how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't end that way. So
yeah, he tried. I mean, he tried. They tried to. They tried to eject, but the eject wasn't. They didn't have the parachutes in here, so there was no ejecting.
When he said I'm sorry, was he saying I'm sorry that you about to die, or I'm sorry we're about to die?
I think it was more of a sorry I wasn't able to get you out of this situation type, type thing. That's what I took from it.
That seems more responsible than what I thought.
Yeah, nah, that was but that entire little fight scene when he was doing that with the F-14, because that's pretty much how he gained Iceman's respect in the last movie. They were at the end.
Oh, another
They had finished
callback.
their mission, and they got two people that pulled up on him, and he caught two bodies, I guess. So they did the fighting in that scenario, and as they're doing it, they had no more countermeasures, no more bullets in the barrel. Dudes shooting them out the air, pretty much over with. And of course, Hangman, he finally catches his people and he takes them out. He takes that pilot out the actual sky. He gives them like they're about to land on an actual airplane, which was super dope. Let me see. So,
I,
which was that, Jazz?
I like that scene. I was just like, thank you for not being a complete asshole the
Yeah.
entire film
Yeah.
and coming to save the day. So y'all think
Yeah.
he jumped in his plane after leaving January 6th? Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, but like he redeemed himself. His character redeemed himself
Yeah.
because he had been waiting for that call to go save him, to go help. And so I'm glad that he answered, that he went.
Yeah, Cyclone, he was like, "Nah, fuck it. They in enemy territory. We can't do nothing for them. We finished what we need to do. We out of there. Like that's a wrap." They made it back, and they were just having a conversation. He was like, I took another plane down, so that's two." And I was like, "Yeah, but Maverick took down three. He has an ace. That's five. So I don't know." And then in that, and of course, we have the final scene. They basically, like at the end of the previous movie, it was Iceman and him. They shook hands. They finally came to an agreement at
Okay.
the end of the actual movie. But this one was Rooster and him coming to that celebratory moment. And of course, he flies off into the sunset with Miss Jennifer Connelly, Miss Penny, and that's the ending of Top Gun. Which should I say, Chris?
No, I like the ending better that he didn't die because, like you said, he got the callback to the first movie, and then he got to have his happy ending with Jennifer Connelly or Penny. So I like it. I was just, I was just bracing myself.
Yeah, they definitely had that emotional impact this entire movie, man. But what we here for? Wasn't it good though? How y'all feeling?
Chris.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for Chad. Yeah, it's good. I will say that I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't go into it expecting um to be okay. So I'm not familiar with Top Gun. So I've heard of it, but I haven't, I'm not really familiar with it. So I didn't go into it I thought it was like overhyped. I was just like, this made $1 billion. Like how? Like all that stuff. But it was actually pretty good. And then when you think about like the callbacks and everything from the first movie, and then you had, I'm sure a lot of people who really enjoyed the first one, and then he was able to bridge the gap with the newer people as well. I could see why, it did what it did. I thought it was a good story. Tom Cruise he's amazing, especially when you learn that it's actually practical and not like special effects. That's sick. And then even with the Val Kilmer situation, that hit. So it had the action, and then like we said earlier, it has that personal, that type of impact and emotion brought to it. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I know Jason, you saw this a couple of months ago and you told us that the movie was really good. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really excited for this review because I was just like not excited to watch this film. But I will say, Jason, this movie was really good. I'm glad. Like, I mean,
Jason gonna sleep good tonight. He's so happy.
I know. But I will say, it was a lot better than what I had expected. Um, the acting, the script, the visuals, the storyline. It was really good. So definitely good choice. Uh, so yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, glad we reviewed it. That Val Kilmer. I wish you would have told me that before we reviewed, so then I could.
I told you I'm knocking y'all out today with
Bruh,
these facts.
That's a gut punch though.
That's like you need to let somebody know facts like that ahead of time. So I'm yeah. So no, it was good.
Yeah, so Lincoln Thrones. Jazz, you want to go with yours first?
I will. I had a few that because this movie was packed with so much talent. So I had a few written down. I'm gonna switch mine up. I am going to go with Val Kilmer. The movie is Mindhunters with LL Cool J. This movie came out, I believe, in the early 2000s. Amazing film, really dope. So yeah, Mindhunters.
Okay.
Who you got, Chris?
My Link of Thrones is going to be Miles Teller. He played in Whiplash, which came out in 2014. Fantastic movie. Very intense. It also had J. Jonah Jameson. You know who I'm talking about. The guy who plays J. Yeah, he's in that movie as well. They both did a great job. That's one of the best movies I've seen.
You said Whiplash?
Whiplash. Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Yep.
The German movie.
Got you. Really good movie.
I'm gonna do Glenn Powell. This is when they play Hangman. Devotion is out everywhere. With Kang. We got Devotion with Kang. So yeah, definitely go check that out in the theaters today I'm saying in theaters now. So go check that out. Another movie where he's pretty much playing a pilot, but Mr. Jonathan Majors has to rescue him. So yeah, check that out. True story.
Of course, because
what else did he play in?
Jonathan Majors is always saving someone.
Hidden Figures, The Expendables 3.
Maybe it's Hidden Figures that I've seen him. I've just seen him somewhere. He has that face.
Same.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any ledges?
Kill Tom Cruise.
Oh man. Nah, I thought I guess my ledge would be the fake me out, like the plot armors and everything. You thought, I don't want to say unrealistic because, but you would think at a certain point it just became very convenient. But I wouldn't say that was a bad thing. It was just they wrote it that way.
Yeah, I think I definitely, if somebody would have died, that would have I guess made it more realistic, like you were saying, Chris. But I think that's the only thing that I would say was my ledge for this film.
But I think even with the character that did die, I thought that was enough of an emotional, punch right there for the film. And then it helped move the story forward when he had the just let go, or you need to let go. When he wrote that on the screen, it played into everything at the end. So I thought that was a good enough death that it had to be. So I'm not mad at that.
That makes me think everything that included his character, they just wrote that in due to his health condition.
Yeah.
Bro, my mind is so blown.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is, man. It is, but I mean, he is living. His children are there, like I said. You can watch the documentary of his life. It's on Amazon now. So, yeah.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to add? Chris, you was about to say something.
I have a question. So, this movie, did we establish sequel, requel? How did we do that? Like, would you consider a sequel?
I'm not mad at either. I'm not mad at either one.
I think it's like in between.
Yes, okay. I mean, so it definitely would. I definitely would think sequel.
Okay, so for the sake of this question, we're gonna say it's a sequel. Jason, you've seen both. Would you say this is better than the first Top Gun?
For sure.
For sure. Okay, good.
It's a cheesy 80s movie. So yeah.
Okay. Any other sequels that you guys would put ahead of the original? I don't have any specific rules. It could be the second of a third, but just the sequel, not the trilogy, the sequel you would put better than the first one.
The first movie that comes to my mind, I'm gonna say is The Grudge. The sequel to the original one, the US original one. The sequel was a lot better. The Grudge movie, I think, was terrible.
Which one you mean?
The one with Sarah Jessica Parker, I think, was terrible, but the one that included her sister going to find her was better. Not the remake, because they made it. I think, was it Sam Raimi that did the remake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not that one. I don't think I even saw that one. Or if I do, I don't remember it. But
got you.
What about you, Jason?
I'm going to throw out 3. The third one gonna be controversial. I know. Of course, Terminator 2. That's definitely way better than Terminator. Rush Hour 2. That's definitely better than Rush Hour.
I'm not mad at that. It ain't. Don't say definitely like that. It ain't easy, but I'm not mad at that.
Next Friday is better than Friday.
No. No. That's why you got up.
Because he knows it's not.
No. If you go
Next Friday is better than Friday.
No.
Jason, sit down.
Yes, sir. Look, next Friday is better than Friday.
It might be funnier. It's not better. Because I feel like the first Friday touched on, it wasn't trying to pull like all comedic elements. Like it was trying to have some tough moments and comedic moments, like serious moments, which none of the Fridays brought that in. They were just like full on comedies. So like, no, there's no way like Day Day was funnier than Chris Tucker. Like Smokey.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't.
Next Friday,
I'm just saying that just in case if somebody is just like, oh, Day Day is better than Chris. No, Jazz is cutting that right there.
We're gonna put that. We're gonna put that out. We're gonna put the energy out there. I can't wait to share that next
Chris,
Friday.
What you got? What do you think? Chris, stand on a hill right now.
What movie do you? What's your sequel better than original?
The obvious.
Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2 is also better than Home Alone. That's facts.
That's facts.
The obvious one, The Dark Knight, is better than Batman Begins, in my opinion. I don't think that's not controversial. Bad Boys 2 is better than Bad Boys 1, in my opinion.
Easily.
I'm gonna go with that. I would say that Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man 1. The Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 2 is better. And there's a lot of superhero movies. X-Men 2 is better than the original X-Men.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I mean, I can say like Cap Winter Soldier is better than the first Cap.
Easily.
Okay, so she's right, but Jazz is reasoning for saying this because her feeling with Phase 1. So nah.
Since we here.
Where is here, Jason?
What you mean? In the podcast.
No, I mean no.
You know I'm going?
I feel like it's a marble road that you about to go down.
Black Panther or Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Which one? It's cool. We can wait. We can wait for that one. We can wait for that one. I mean, we did just review it, so I was just gonna ask you what your opinion was. We're gonna scoop past that one. Yeah, all right. I love y'all.
We're gonna roll past it.
You're gonna close this out. Close this out, sister.
I will close this out, but I will say I want to add Back to the Future 2 was better than the first Back to the Future.
Back to the Future 2
is when they went to the future.
That's when he was trying to bet on the games. He told them not to.
Yes.
Okay. And then 3 was when he was at the
that was when they went to the West. So they basically went full on to the past.
Okay. Which one was it when they was 1 when his mom was trying to get with him?
Yes, that was part 1. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Back to the Future.
I'm not mad at that.
But yes, so I'm assuming there is nothing else you guys want to add? Smile.
That was it. I just wanted to get clarification on the sequel question, so I could just, the sequel, whatever this was, so I could just. That was
a nice transition there, Chris. I appreciate it though.
It was. That was really good. But again, thank you to everybody that listens, supports, comments, chats with us when we do our premieres for our YouTube for episodes. Shout out to everybody that joined our chat community and that engages. Phone ringing. So
this is that so? Look at that.
Relax, Chris. You're doing the most. But this is the Was It Good Though podcast. I am one of your hosts. I am Jazz, joined with Chris. And they can't hear you. They can't see that if they listen to Chris.
Sign language.
Right. And we are joined with Jason.
Peace out. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Enjoyed our November collection. I think we did pretty good this past month, gentlemen. We got some Christmas movie requests. So we'll see how that goes, but we got to do some shows because it's been a while. But be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, follow, all of that good stuff. Y'all have a good one. This is it. Was a Good Though podcast. Cheers.
25.
Deuces.
Quarter piece.
Quarter bird, what's the word?